Hey everybody, it's John here again, and I was at GameStop the other day, and I seen these Stranger Things Ghostbusters Halloween costume set, and I don't know if you've seen my other video on the McFarlane figures. I only did the original release of 11, and that was one of the worst figures I reviewed in a while, and it kind of soured me on the line, so I figured I'd give it a second chance and take a look at these guys and see if it can redeem itself, maybe. In the package here you can see all the figures. You got Dustin, Mike, Will, and Lucas. And there's a little dart, and they got their Ghostbusters equipment. It's kind of cool. A little bit of Stranger Things artwork going on here. And it barely fits in here, but on the back you can see there's some of the images of the product there, and here are some of the figures that are coming out as well. Right now you can get Will, 11, Barb, Mike, Upside Down Will, which I haven't seen anywhere yet, and there's a squeezable dart, I guess. Let's look at the package. I will open them up and we'll take a closer look and see if these ones fare a little bit better. So give me a second. Alright, I've got them out of the package here, and one thing that always bothers me is if something can stand up by itself or not. Kind of shows what design quality they put into things. And of this set, 2 out of the 4 can stand by themselves. I could not get Dustin or Will to stand up. I don't know what their issue is. I think Dustin's head maybe makes his balance a little off, but Mike and Lucas both stood, so that's kind of cool. Now, have you ever listened to any of Ty McFarlane's interviews when they ask him about his figures? He always says, well, there goes Lucas. He always says that he doesn't really understand why collectors like articulation in any of their stuff. That's why he hardly does any anymore. And he is more worried about just making a sculpted thing, and then he puts cuts in it, and that's how you get your articulation, which I think is a kind of a holding them back. I mean, they were at one point in time the more revolutionary toy makers or toy company pushing boundaries, and now it seems like they're just falling behind. Like NECA Toys has jumped way ahead, and so has like the Four Horsemen and their Mythic Legions line, and then some very cool property of Stranger Things we get, and then we get these things, which they're not horrible. I mean, they're really nicely detailed. The paint on them is okay. I don't know what happened to his hand. I'll show you a closer look at that, but it's pretty terrible. They really gunked it on, and their extra little pieces they come with are cool. But I don't know, they look okay on your shelf, but you can't do a whole lot with them, which again is a bummer, because Stranger Things is such a pretty cool series that I think it deserves something better. But let's go with Lucas. I'm gonna bring him in here, and so we can get a closer look at his face. His face detail is very well done. The paint on it is pretty good. Not a lot of complaints. And then he has a thin body type. His hands are painted fairly well. And there's the Ghostbusters insignia. And then it's pretty sloppy on the legs. You can see where it wasn't done in quite the same amount of coating. It's really thick and crazy on this arm. And then there's spots where you can see through the paint. So the paint job's pretty terrible. And out of all of them, he's the only one whose peg barely even goes into the stand. I mean, his shoes are nicely done. And then, let me move back a bit here. You know, his head can go around, and he can look up and down, which is nice. And then you get to the shoulders, which they can come out and around. Okay, not bad. And then he's got a rotation and a joint here with these little ratchets that you can see in his elbow. So they get pretty good movement in the arms. I'll give him that. And then he's just got a cut at the waist, which is kind of lame. So you can see they just threw a cut in here, and that's all the articulation they felt like doing there. And he's got the crazy articulation style that they use for the hips on these guys, where they just have this weird side ways out, and then they do rotate forward pretty good and back, and you can see all the little ratchets there. I mean, it's an interesting design, this little T and hinge thing. It's odd because there's just so much stuff. I mean, look at it. He says he's not. He said he doesn't like breaking up the sculpt, but look at this mess back here. It's all these pegs and cuts, and I don't know. And then his knee is a swivel and a bend there as well. I guess the ratchets are nice. They help keep the pose if you can get them in one. There he goes. Well, he did fit on this peg that time. Then well, he comes with just his backpack, which is the, homemade Ghostbusters pack here, and the little weapon end. Just kind of neat. It's got some nice details on it. A little danger there. Let's see how easily we can put this on. Goes on this arm pretty good. And then I guess you're probably going to have to force it up on this one. Not too bad. Fits pretty good. And let's see. He's got a trigger finger. Let's see if he can hold this thing. So I'm kind of fighting with it here. The hose makes it a little unwieldy. I'm sure once I get a good hold on it, it'll fit pretty good. Maybe. There, I think it's in there. And then the force of the hose is stronger than the joint on his wrist. Just gonna see if I put it here, it just spins it to the side. But he does have his other hand, which I think you can get it to hold on to, so you can have them standing like so. So not bad. I think it's better than the 11, but it's still not as good as I would like them to be, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping a little, or wishing a little too much on the quality of these guys. I mean, how much was this box set? Like $69.99. Yeah, I didn't. That's still. They're pretty much the same paint splotch all over the figures. And do these two share the same body? More than likely, it's the same body there, and then they just switch the paint. Put a different head on it. Painted the shoes a little different. But Will, let's take a look at Will's face here up close. Again, really nice work. I think the faces are much better this time around. The 11 I had looked terrible. And he's got his little spangler and his Ghostbusters logo. Hands are very glumpy when it comes to the paint there. Might have just made that word up. And then it's the same where it's not quite consistently done all the way around. Like this is really badly, terribly painted. The arms are really coated. Same with Lucas. And then you can still see through where it used to be. But like I said, if you're just going to hang them up or sit them up on your shelf, you might not be able to notice. And he's got the same articulation, so I'm not really going to go over all that again. Yeah, the paint's terrible throughout this little piece right here. His shoes, again, are done pretty well, though. And now he has his little proton pack and weapon. So I'm going to put that on the same way. I mean, they look kind of... Get on there. Come on, roll on up the arm. Alright, there we go. Pack is on. He came off his stand again. At least, I guess at least they give us the stands because they realized how terrible they are at standing. And again, his unwieldy hose here is just going to pull him around. Get this in his hand. Maybe. Just doesn't want to hang on to it very well. There, I guess that's probably as good as it's going to get, and he keeps popping off of his stand quite a will. And he also comes with this little camcorder. Little camcorder TP. Very nice detail on this thing. Looks pretty good. You can see they even painted a little bit on the button, so they went out of their way a little bit and painted this thing. I could have used a little bit more on the lens, but it's not pretty nice. Well, it looks like they do. So if you don't want him, maybe you can put this around and plug that in, like so. Get back on your stand, and he can maybe hold the camcorder in his hand somehow. Yeah, kinda. He doesn't hold it very well. I mean, I guess you could put it on that way, but I think it looks better that, like so. This whole time, Mike's been standing all by himself without a stand, so he's the most balanced of them all. His one eye is looking off a little bit. Maybe he's in thought, wondering why he's all dressed up. But he shares the same body as Dustin, so you get 2 recycled bodies for these sets. Again, his shoes are pretty good. And like this hand, though, I don't know if it'll show up or not. The paint is so bad. On his finger, it's all wrinkled. It looks like he's got 200-year-old hands on there. It looks like somebody just dipped the hand in the paint and was like, oh, it's good. And that's what you got. At least the hair, I guess, and the skin tone doesn't bleed together at all. And he also has his little proton pack. So these are a little bit bigger body types. So let's see how the pack, which is exactly the same, fits on the larger body type. Do they unpeg? Nope. So how? Maybe I can do this. Oops. Yeah, there it goes. Definitely tougher to get it on to the larger body, but it's on there. And put him on his little stand. Let's see if he can hold. Ugh, those poor fingers. They're so terrible. Oh, there's so much paint on his hands. I don't know if he can even grip this thing. That's crazy. There, I think I got it in his hand. Struggling with this one a little bit. There, he's kind of holding it, and he stands there. Okay. And then Dustin, who's going to kick his stand off so it goes flying away under the table. Pretty good face sculpt. I think with a little bit of extra paint, he could look like the Cowardly Lion going on there. But it's the same body type of the larger scale. It's just, I don't even know what's going on back here. You can tell where he was painted and somebody touched him. His hands are a lot better though. But he's very heavy thanks to his head. His head's pretty solid mass. Get him there. But he does come with this, which is awesome. Or it just flew the one door off. Well, that kind of sucks. At least it looks like it just goes back in. Oh, they're not attached. Okay, well, the trap. The doors aren't attached, but get this itty bitty teeny dart, which probably would be really easy to lose, but hopefully he'll fit in the trap. And then if you put the doors kind of back on, he'll stay in there and not disappear on you. And there, that kind of works. It's as good as it gets, I guess. Let's see, one more time. If I can slide these on. Ooh. Come on, get up on to him. Okay. It's on there. And his foot was almost too big for the peg. I'm probably just gonna, on him, plug it into the side here. And maybe he can hold on to this. Yeah. Good, perfect. There they are. Ta-da! They're cool, in a way. I mean, they look nice like this, if you don't plan on doing a whole lot with them. That price point's pretty rough, though. I don't know if you might want to hold on and wait for to see if they go down. Maybe they get marked down in price a bit. I had thankfully, some points off, so I got them for a little bit less, thanks to their little GameStop Players Club deal. And they look good as a group. I mean, they pull off what they're supposed to be. Still, the articulations, I'm not really a fan of that. The hips and everything work well, I guess, but that cut at the waist is kind of lame. But they at least stand up better. Will's bending back a little bit. He can probably be adjusted. But that 11 figure that I have stands, well, it doesn't stand on my shelf because it just completely falls over all the time because its legs are so horrible. These are definitely a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up a couple more and see how the single standalone ones do. I do really want to like these guys a lot. But I think these are better than the one that I've done before. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Are you still into these Stranger Things figures, or have you just leave them in the package maybe if you're an on-card collector? Maybe they look cooler that way. Of course, you can't get them holding their stuff, which, I don't know, seems kind of pointless. Thanks for watching. I don't got much more to say about these guys. I think I rambled on long enough. And I definitely like the little dart in the trap, though. That's kind of cool. So I guess that makes maybe Dustin my favorite one out of them. And I don't know. I'll see what you guys think. Let me know. Alright. Bye. want to say thank you one more time for checking out this video. And if you're interested in seeing any more, you can click either one of the links that will be over here. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, there'll be a button down below. Do that as well. And again, thank you.